Hi there, welcome to the Accounting for the Arts YouTube page. Please make sure you like and subscribe. This is for performing arts schools to get on top of their finances, figure out what's going on, and make as much money as you can for your companies and businesses. So today we are going to have a chat about expenses and what expenses you guys can claim. So a lot of the time people still come to me and they either don't really know what to claim as an expense. Some people don't claim any expenses at all, which I find absolutely crazy. So let's go through a little list of things that you can and can't claim. Okay, number one, we have got rent and utilities. So if you are leasing a studio or if you are renting halls out, those expenses can go through. When you are leasing a studio as well, you may have, or you definitely will have, things like electricity, gas, broadband, council tax, water rates. All of those can go through as well because they are all the costs that you have to make in order to keep that studio running. So they can all go through as expenses. Next, we have teachers. So if you are paying people to come in to teach your classes, they can all go through as expenses as well. Some people are now employing teachers, but that's a different video for a different day. But you may have employed teachers, you may have self-employed teachers, but they can all go through as a business expense. We then have costumes and dancewear. So if you are paying out for things, costumes maybe for shows or exams, anything along those lines, they can all go through as an expense as well. Now, when I talk about dancewear, I'm going from like the teacher point of view now, in that if you are buying yourself leggings, jogging bottoms, trainers, tops, anything that you need in order to teach a class, things like that can also go through as a business expense as well. We then have props and equipment. So we are looking at things like mirrors, sound equipment, stereos, also things like iPads or laptops. Like I have to take my iPad to class to play music. So obviously that is then a business expense because I'm using it for that purpose. You might have props as well. Like again, you might need them for shows like hats and canes and anything that you can think of. So all of those things can go through as a business expense as well. We then have marketing and advertising. So if you are paying out for Facebook ads or Google ads, or even if you are buying leaflets to hand out to schools, all of those things can go in as advertising. I'm also thinking of things like a lot of people do stickers now in schools, so they'll hand out stickers. And things like that can go through as a business expense as well. We then have insurance. So hopefully you all have your own insurance. If you are working for a studio, they will have their own insurance as well. But please make sure that you have your insurance, and that can also go through as a business expense. Music licensing. Now, a lot of the places that you go around nowadays have their own PPL, PRS license, that some don't. So you need to make sure that you have that license in order so that you can basically play the music and you're licensed to play that music, but that can go through as an expense as well. Next is professional development. So if you are qualified with an exam board, you'll likely have to do CPD, which is continuing professional development. Very hard to say. But you will then have to do training for things like that. So any training can go through as an expense. So just for an example, I had someone ask me the other day that they went to I don't know if they went to like Birmingham or somewhere like that, but they travelled a little way to get to a course, and they said, can I put that through as an expense? And I said yes, because it's in relation to your business, and it is your training for your CPD. So if you're going places for training as well, that can go through as a business expense. Then have maintenance and repairs. So if you have your own studio, this is more likely. If you don't, then it's less likely, but You might have things in your studio that need repairing, and anything that does need repairing, like floors, or if you need anything painting, or if you just need to buy things to replace other things like kettles or microwaves, things like that. That can all go through as a expense as well, because it is all within your studio. We then have software and technology, so there's quite a lot of things that will fall under this. Software wise, anything to do with computers and running your computers, obviously on any software packages, so you might have accounting software that can go through. A lot of you will have like a class management system, that is all fine to go through as well. And then anything else that a lot of people have, things like MailChimp, so anything that you're using from a software point of view for the business can likely go through as an expense. We then have travel and accommodations. If we take my training example a minute ago, so that person had to travel to Birmingham, get a hotel, obviously get food, so they could claim for mileage, they could claim their food and bits and pieces like that. You will be able to claim if you are going to places that are kind of different from your day-to-day. If you're traveling to the same place on a daily basis, you can't usually claim for that. But if you are traveling to different places on different days, or always doing something kind of like different out of the normal, that is what you can claim for. For instance, if I was going to go to London for the day and go and see a client there, I could claim for the train travel, I could claim for food during the day, like coffees, things like that. But if it is your normal day-to-day traveling, then you cannot claim for that. And then finally, we have like sundry items. So there might be things that don't fall into any of those categories. And one thing that always comes to mind is when people ask me if they can buy gifts for their teachers. And I usually say yes, that is fine, because again, it is a business expense, but there's not really a category for that. So I would always class that as being under a miscellaneous expense. So that is everything that we have got today from an expenses point of view. If there are any expenses that you're not sure of and you would like to ask, please pop them in the comments below and I will say yes or no. Please make sure that you subscribe to our Accounting for the Arts YouTube page, and I will see you soon.